Next question. Jefferson paid an arm and a leg for his car, but he really enjoys driving it. In this question, see, there are contrasting points. One thing is, he has done something slightly negative about the car. Why? Because there is a word but, and he really enjoys driving it. Therefore, the first part clearly shows that something slightly unpleasant has happened, and that too with respect to his car. What could that be? Choices: A. Unduly high price. If he paid a very high price for it, probably he doesn't like it, perhaps who likes. And second thing is, really enjoys driving it, quite possible, because paid very high price yet enjoys driving it. Possible answer. B. No attention. Jefferson paid no attention for his car. Answers. How can that be? When you don't pay attention to it, then how do you really enjoy doing it? Therefore, this is not a meaningful answer. Eliminate. Something against one's wish. Jefferson paid something against one's wish. Then actually has paid something, right? Therefore, against one's wish does not arise at all. See, it is very easy to eliminate. Paid very low price. In fact, you should love for that. If you get a very car at a very cheap rate, then definitely you'll enjoy driving it. And therefore, out of all this, the only logical choice is unduly high price. So A is the best option.
This 50,000 is invested in two banks at the rate of 15% and 18% per annum under simple interest for 8 years and 10 years. Now we have to calculate the total interest if the interest after 1 year are equal. Now this 50,000, let us divide it into two parts, x and 50,000 minus x. Let the first part be given at 15% per annum and the second 18% per annum, and the first one for 8 years and the second for 10 years. Now interest on the first part will be x into 15 into 8 by 100, which is equals to 50,000 minus x into 18 into 10 by 100. If we simplify, we'll get the value of x as 30,000. Now, in order to calculate the total interest, we can calculate the interest on first part or second part. Now, the first part is nothing but 30%. So, interest on 30,000 rupees will be 30,000 into 15 into 8 by 100, which will be 36,000. So, interest on the first part is 36,000, and also the interest on the second part will be 36,000 because they are equal. So, the total interest is nothing but rupees 72,000, which is option A. That P1, P2, P3, so on up to P10 are 10 positive integers which are not divisible by 5. And we have to find the remainder when P1 square plus P2 square plus so on up to P10 square is divisible by 5. Now, it is given that P1, P2, P3, so on up to P10 are the positive integers which are not divisible by 5. So this P1, P2 values, P1, P2, so on up to P10 can be in the form of 5k plus 1, 5k plus 2, 5k plus 3 and 5k plus 4. If it is 5k plus 1, it is again divisible by 5. If you take 5k plus 6, it is nothing but again 5k plus 1 form. Now, let us look into the statement now. We have to check the remainder when P1 square plus P2 square, so on up to P10 square is divisible by 5 or not. If all the values, say P1, P2 up to P10 are in the form of 5k plus 1 or 5k plus 2 or 5k plus 3 or 5k plus 4, then it will be 5k whole square, that is 10 times, plus 10 times of 1 square, or 10 times of 5k whole square plus 10 times of 2 square, 10 times of 5k whole square plus 10 times of 3 square, 10 times of 5k whole square plus 10 times of 4 square. All these values are exactly divisible by 5. So the remainder will be 0 in this case. If I consider P1, P2 up to P9 as 5k plus 1 and P10 as 5k plus 2, then it will be 5k whole square into 9 plus 9 times of 1 square plus 5k whole square plus 2 square. These two values are divisible by 5, and 9 plus 4 13, which is not divisible by 5, and if you divide it by 5, remainder will be 1. Similarly, if we go further, reminders will be 2, 3 or 4. So hence the answer is option D. It is a sufficiency question and we have to find the value of P. Let us look into statement 1. P square is less than or equals to P. We can write this as P square minus P is less than or equals to 0, which can be written as P into P minus 1 less than or equals to 0. Further, we can write this as P minus 0 into P minus 1 less than or equals to 0. Now, whenever you see this less than or equals to, P value will always lies between 0 and 1. Just remember one thing, less than or equal to lies between. If it is greater than or equal to, does not lie between. Now, from statement 1, we cannot say the value of P because P can be any value from 0 to 1. So it's not unique. Let us look into statement 2. P square is greater than or equals to P, which can be written as P square minus P greater than or equals to 0. Similarly, we can write it as P minus 0 into P minus 1 greater than or equals to 0. As I said, if it is greater than or equal to, P will never lie between 0 and 1. So P may be less than 0 or greater than 1. So P will be less than or equals to 0, or it could be greater than or equals to 1. And again, less than or equal to 0, there are infinite values. Greater than 1, there are infinite values. So we cannot answer this by only statement 2. Now, if I combine statement 1 and 2, then also the value of P is not unique. So we cannot answer this question by using both the statements also. So the answer is D. The pie chart which is given shows the expenditure, that means budgeted expenditure of heads A, B, C, D, E, F and G. A is 18%, that means 18% is budgeted for as his expenditure. Similarly, B 22, C 8, D 21, E 10, F 12 and G 9. And it is also given that total monthly salary of the family is 1,40,000. Now, what is he saying is family has spent rupees 1400 less on E than budgeted. Now he is asking the new expenditure of E, which is equal to expenditure of which of the following heads. Estimated budget of E is nothing but 10% of 1,40,000, which is nothing but 14,000. But they have spent 1400 less. So the amount spent on E, amount which is spent on E is 14,000 minus 1400. That will be 12,600. Now we have to check this 12,600 is the expenditure of which of the following heads. Is it of A, G, B and F? Now clearly 12,600 is nothing but 9% of 14,000. And this 9% is of G. So the answer is option